It's all right.
All right, it says we're live. Let's see. I got people texting me, guys. Yeah. I apologize. I had technical difficulties, of course. I'm gonna just text these people real quick. Try again. Send and try again to this group. Um, yeah, man. Oh, while I do this, if you don't mind, tell everyone who you are, what you do, how you do it, all that good jazz, and then I'll jump into why I'm even on my phone right now.
Right, right on. Yeah, the theme of today is adaptability.
Yes, it is.
Today's broadcast is brought to you. All right, so I'm Seth Siegler. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer here at eXp Realty. I've been with the company for like 6 years now. But before this, maybe we'll get into this. But yeah, before this, like my whole history is prop tech startups. I did a bunch of them. I built a lot of stuff for other startups and other bigger companies. And and I was actually a real estate agent too. A long time ago, right after college. That's when I learned the business and sort of fell in love with it. And then sort of pivoted to my more natural tech side of things, where I was much better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
but
so
yeah,
I researched you, and for everyone who is jumping on now, I'm on my phone because my audio went out, my video went out, and my printer went out that usually I print out all my questions on. Just today, literally never happens. So
yeah.
that's why I'm late, and I appreciate it, Seth. Let me know if you can still can you still hear me right now?
I can. Your video's frozen for some reason, but I can hear you just fine. Can everyone out there hear us? Oh, now Ruben, you're frozen and you're gone, I think. Oh no, you're back.
Okay, but can you hear me? Because I was just gonna read off some stats real quick, but my printer not being here, I had to like flip back and forth. Can you hear this where I'm speaking now?
I can. Looks like somebody out there said that the people out there in the chat are saying they can hear you.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. 2007, you worked with Homecast Video to help with making turnkey high.
Now we don't hear you. Ruben, you're frozen. He's frozen for all of you as well out there.
You good? Is it messing up, man?
Yeah, Ruben. As soon as he said 2007, he froze up that whole time.
Ah,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
great stats. Go to LinkedIn, everyone. They're all there. I was trying to read them. Dang, all my questions are there too. But you talked a little bit about obviously who you are, what you've done. What is your main role? And I'll say this for anybody else who's watching, ask questions, because this is the beauty of this. We get to ask questions to some of the executive team, some of the officers.
Yep.
What is your role specifically at eXp being
Great.
Chief Innovation Officer, just so people can understand what that is?
Yep. Great question. So my role is to look forward in a nutshell, right? So what we did was we used to have a chief information officer that was in charge of all technology and product here at eXp. And so they'd be in charge of everything from like eXp Enterprise and My eXp and all that kind of stuff. Sky Slope integrations, like the kind of the nitty gritty. And also, I was reporting to that person in my old role of being in charge of innovation, but still, right? It was sort of like all under that that one role. So what we did was we split that role up into a chief technical officer, technology officer, which is Sumanth, who does an awesome job at that, right? Of sort of like overseeing the core tech, and then my role, which is forward looking, right? So that's trying to figure out and be on top of what's next. So investigating all different types of emerging technologies. These days, really the only one to concern ourselves with is AI, obviously. And so like experimenting with all of the new different tools that come out, building prototypes, sort of evangelizing and empowering the staff and agents to make sure that they're understanding what's possible, and helping people learn, um, establishing relationships, and sort of getting some of the industry giants to sort of leverage their expertise for us, right? So I'm talking about like OpenAI and Google and Amazon Web Services, Palantir, companies like that. Because of our size, we get to sort of we get that sort of of benefit that those companies actually want to sort of see their technology work on our scale.
Right.
So stuff like that. In a nutshell, just making sure that we're ahead of the curve and we're not following or in a reactive state, given how important an inflection pointy it is right now with the state of technology and AI, especially. So
Yeah.
really want to sort of like find out and empower agents and staff and operations here at eXp as much as possible before we're in, like I said, a reactive state or falling behind or something. eXp's just always been. We got here because we're innovative. Glenn's vision and business model and execution was wildly innovative and is still. And we want to make sure that we sort of continue that trajectory, on into the future. It's a just huge opportunity right now, given what's happening every single day, the new things that are coming out and happening. It's a monstrous opportunity. It hasn't really yet sunk in our space here in real estate land. And we want to make sure that we make the right moves to make sure that EXP agents have the unfair advantage, if you will.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
AI, I mean, obviously it's moving extremely fast. And I know that you
yeah,
said
yeah,
we're looking to stay in front of it instead of being reactive. Now, as agents, broker owners, team owners, we know some of the AI stuff that is out there and that we're utilizing right now that can communicate for us or just build video, images, descriptions, that type of thing. But what are you guys looking at the higher level to
yeah.
stay innovative and to be ahead of that curve in terms of AI? What are you guys looking at?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Really the opportunities are everywhere. So it's sort of like, it's, it's important to really sort of like spread it around, right? So there's opportunities to make EXP run so much more efficiently and better, right? To like more instantaneously get you all as agents exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, give you less steps, less systems to go into, less buttons to click, less menus to dig through, right? Make that stuff more anticipatory of what you need. So like there's opportunities there with what they call agentic AI, which is more like autonomous AI that can sort of act on its own and anticipate your needs and communicate with you and
Right.
collect information or get you information, whatever the case is. Right? There's that sort of thing, and then there's also like the ability to build software so much more quickly because of AI enabled coding. Right? So like what used to take months or a year plus sometimes to build, or we'd have to like go to a very expensive vendor partner to build. We're able to build much more quickly now. That's an initiative that we have internally, even like non-technical staff, right? People that are in the trenches doing the work every day, processing transactions or whatever else, like onboarding agents and stuff like that, like all around eXp. They're able to create little pieces of software now without coding to like better operate eXp, to better serve all the agents. And all of that can also be done by agents now too, right? So with
Right.
tools like lovable.dev, which is like a vibe coding tool, they call it. And vibe coding essentially means being able to like create software and write code just by communicating, just like this, right? If you can describe what you want a
Mm,
piece of software to do, you could actually build it. And nobody is better, to sort of build the most ideal piece of software for what you do than you, right? Only
right.
you know what you do. Only you know the secret sauce that makes your team run the best, or whatever the case is, right? And so you can build just the most ideal, hyper specific piece of software without coding, using a tool like Lovable, and that's something that we encourage and like actively evangelize the staff to do. And then the same thing, like when I go and talk at the top producer masterminds, or wherever else, whenever I'm in front of agents, I'm talking about tools like Lovable because it's a huge opportunity, right? Imagine being able to like quickly create a single property website for a listing presentation you're going on, right? So you can walk in with an entire website dedicated, to the listing you're hoping to get, right? It looks like so much work went into that and you've already invested so much, but it may take you 5 minutes to make it. But it looks incredible. And you can even sort of mock up drone photography, using the image generation tool on ChatGPT, like all these little sort of like hacks you can put together where it just like you can absolutely blow somebody away. And then, it's just one little idea, right? And then you could also build
Yeah.
real software to help your team run. So anyway, the opportunities are great. They're across the board though, right? And then there's a lot of just sort of turnkey tools that just make your life easier, all the way to the other extreme of just AI infused into the tools that you're using already, to just make them sort of work better, again, more anticipatory and stuff. So very long answer. Sorry, Ruben. But yeah, there's a lot cooking. There's a lot going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
What's some of the biggest opportunity? Because you said there's a ton of
Yeah.
opportunity. What's the biggest opportunity that you feel EXP could and that you could talk about? Maybe some of the stuff we can't talk about, just
Yeah.
as like
For sure. There's some stuff we can't yet talk
the
about, but
competitive advantage. But what do you see that has been the biggest opportunity for EXP to dive more into that will eventually trickle down, obviously, for the agent, team
yeah.
leaders, and all of
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So we got to go visit OpenAI, and we got to go visit Google's cloud and AI headquarters recently. Glenn and I,
Mm,
and the reason is we're an OpenAI enterprise customer, and we also are a pretty big Google customer for other stuff, and they've made a lot of strides in AI in the last 6 months this year, and so we got to go see those, and both it was super interesting because both of them uh, talked almost exclusively about this idea of agentic AI and be able to easily build AI agents, which has nothing to do with real estate agents, by the way, just so you know. It's just use the same word, agent, but agentic AI means AI, like the AI that most of us think about when we say that is ChatGPT or Grok
right,
or whatever your flavor is, and that's just
right.
like a chatbot, right? And it's a super smart chatbot that can do a bunch of stuff, but that's just the first sort of like um, implementation of the tech. The really like the next phase of it is what they call agentic AI, which is we don't see it. It's in the background. It's doing stuff. It's actually doing work for us. And that is just such a It's hard to even like explain or comprehend how big that is, but all of the things that that you have to do or someone on your team has to do during the day, you'll be able to the agentic AI will be able to help with. And especially the beauty of it is especially the most tedious parts of it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the prep you have to do for your, if you're into like when I was an agent, I used to do a lot of like FISBO prospecting, and there was so much legwork. I'm sure almost everyone's done a little bit of it. There's so much legwork to get ready for that sort of task that I didn't really want to do anyway. Like I didn't want to make those calls, let alone doing all the legwork before to like get all the numbers and the prospects and stuff like that all together. And like that's something that you can just have an AI agent like running in the background doing, and it's
Right.
it's not the easiest thing to do. Like literally today, Wednesday, July 16th, but by Friday it may be. Like the things are moving so fast. Like it is possible to set that stuff up with tools like N8N, um, and even Zapier and some of the stuff that
Right.
like you're used to not being an AI tool, but now it is. N8N is like
Right.
an AI version of it, right? And there's tools that you can do to set those things up, and then you've got basically an agentic workflow in your real estate business. That's a monstrous opportunity. But it's getting easier and easier and easier every day when new tools come out and there's new companies working on this because it is such a big opportunity.
Right.
It's such a big opportunity. Yeah, yeah. Like you're going to be able to be the same size you are now, basically, but you'll be able to handle 10 times or 100 times more business. And you'll have tools that will be helping you prospect and helping you
Right.
transact and manage your customers and your team and stuff like that. So
Well, that's cool.
that part's
You
super
guys are
exciting.
working with them on that, and
Yeah,
you see that as possible in the future as a value proposition for agents at EXP, that there's a
100%.
EXP agent back end that helps out.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah. Yeah, like,
Cool.
we'll have stuff, running on the EXP side, right? That, like, that's helping to run the business better, right? And can help, again, get you what you need when you need it, before you need it even in some cases.
Right.
And then 100%, no doubt, all of you, anybody in the business will be using AI agents as well. Again, not AI real estate agents, has nothing to do with that.
Right. Right. Right.
I'm talking about you as the irreplaceable human real estate agent will be using AI, agentic workflows in your business to help you run, right? And there's a lot of like new companies that you look at outside of real estate. A company called like Cursor AI. It's a SaaS company, right? But they make a like a tool for software engineers to use. It's a 12-person company that is doing like $300 million or $500 million a year, um,
Wow.
in annual recurring revenue. Like that's the new breed of company, is really small, efficient, leveraging AI agents to help them sort of like do the stuff that's so time consuming for us to do, the stuff that we don't like doing,
Right.
and then that frees them up to think of features, and it'll free you up to be in person, which will be like the super um, value to be delivered in like an increasingly non-authentic world,
Right.
right? Your face-to-face interaction becomes the value, right? And if you've got AI agents doing the stuff that's not that, right?
Yeah.
In the background, and you're free to have more human interaction, face to face, showing value, alleviating people's fears, shepherding them through this, stressful experience.
Yeah.
That's where you win, right?
I love
Yeah,
that. And what's cool, and for everybody who's listening, would you say that AI agent would be, reflective of our personality, our standards? So it's not like everyone fits this bot that EXP pushes out and it all
yeah,
speaks the same language. It downloads who we are essentially and puts it within the documents and everything, the back end that maybe we don't want to touch.
definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're very, very good. The AI is like very, very good at sort of like, if you work it, and properly train
Right.
it, it's really good at becoming taking on your tone and your type of decision making and stuff. And then as these things get better, especially like both the OpenAI and the Google agentic AI platforms that we saw, they give you a way to sort of like go back and reflect on the answers that it had given, right? If it is chat, if it has chat, right? If
Right.
that particular agent has chat, then you can go back and look at it and see the responses it gave and kind of be like bad, good, great, and then it'll like sort of learn going from there.
Mm,
Right. So you can do that. But it doesn't even have to interact. Like it doesn't have to be the type of AI that interacts
right.
with anybody, right? It could be
Could just be like
type of
compliance
AI,
stuff.
right? That's like going into Sky Slope and doing some work for you, right? It could be like going through your CRM and updating it after you've had a call automatically, stuff like that. Um, yeah, stuff like that.
How's
Preparing your listing presentation, stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah, and I know it's moving quick. I guess I feel like the sky's the limit with this stuff.
Yeah, it
And
is.
if I saw a standard of another team, let's say with EXP, I was like, wow, that's sick. I love the way they do that. Could we say, hey, to our agent essentially, hey, could we upload the buyer standard of X team and implement it within our team? Could you also kind of borrow great ideas through the EXP ecosystem with agents and teams to bring into your own
Totally.
world?
Totally. I think that's like one of the beauties of EXP is that there's a real spirit of helping each other here. I've been in real estate for my whole career, which is longer than I like to admit or think about right now. But none of the places I've been at or worked with really have that spirit like that EXP has. So for sure, people are so forthcoming. You ask them. We just did a panel. We went to EXPCon Barcelona. And I had a panel with Jennifer Jones and Leo Robles and Carrie Sauve. And they were just, like talking over each other, trying to like tell everybody how they, what they do and how they do it, and the results they're seeing. And there's tons of those stories out there. There's a lot of agents that are finding some success, and you just got to ask them or just listen. When they're talking, they're
Right.
more than happy to help. But the other thing that I always love and I forget sometimes is if you go to ChatGPT and you use the deep research feature, right? It's just literally a button called Deep Research in ChatGPT. If you have any paid account, the $20 a month one is fine. You turn that on, and then you ask it to research what the agents who are finding the most success with AI are like. You can ask this exact question, like, what are some of
Right.
the things that real estate agents are doing in the last 2 weeks or something like that in the United States across any market, leveraging AI to find the most success, right? And it will go to town. It'll take 15-20 minutes to run sometimes, and provide you with a research paper of tips from other real estate agents. So that's like a great example of using AI to learn how to use AI, right? To use AI to learn how to use
Right.
AI, right? All you got to do is just ask ChatGPT, and it'll sort of tell you that information. But deep research
Yeah,
is the way to go. Yeah, on that for that type of thing.
that's awesome. It feels like obviously a lot that you're looking at right now is AI. Is there
Yeah,
anything outside of AI that's innovative that you see that we could discuss, or at least
yeah,
let some of these agents know that we don't know yet that you guys
yeah.
have been building or discussing behind closed doors at the moment?
Yeah. So I guess like the short quick answer is that like everything has AI, like anything new that's like software or
Right.
technology at least has some AI in it, right? So like
Yeah.
we rolled out Canva to all of all the agents at EXP. Hopefully everybody's using that. That has AI in it.
Right.
But that's just an unbelievable tool, like Pro Canva account, including the new Google video generation AI, right? Where you can tell it, this is what I want the video to be of. And it'll create a video for you of you, Ruben, like walking into a house and saying something. It's amazing, right? That's in Canva, and everybody has that now as part of it. We rolled out Slack. That's I think most people like Slack, right? And so that's kind of a nice new thing. Um, And right, so there's the CRM of choice. That's exciting, right? You're not stuck with KV Core anymore if you don't like it. Um, right, you can choose Lofty or Bold Trail, which is the new KV Core, or Close. And then there's other stuff too, right? There's something that we're calling the agent platform. So one of the nice things about EXP is that you could we build some software, right? We build my EXP, for instance, and then we partner with Best in Class for a lot of other stuff like the CRMs, and like SkySlope and whatnot, right? And, I don't think too many people love SkySlope, but it is, that
It
currently like
works.
it works. It's the best in class for transaction management, but it does create. The beauty of it is that you run whatever you want, right? Because it's your business, you run whatever you want. The downside of that is that it creates a lot of places to go, right,
Right.
to do stuff, and right, that's something that we hear sometimes. So a big project that they're working on in the main engineering org is what they call the agent platform. It'll have a more clever name at some point, but it's sort of like a layer on top of a lot of the tools that you would use day to day at EXP, and allows you to just sort of like chat your questions or your queries or whatever, or something you want it to actually do. This is something that's coming soon. It's in beta now, and it unifies. It's like a unifying user experience layer on top of the more common tools that you'd have to use day to day at EXP. So um, that's something that's still in the garage, if you will.
Yeah.
But very much coming soon. Plus a few other goodies.
I
We'll
bet.
have.
I bet. And I know it could be kind of tough because you can't really jump in and tell some of the stuff that may be that competitive
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
advantage. What are some, if you don't mind, what are some of the KPIs that you look at, weekly or monthly, quarterly? And the reason I ask that, one, it's interesting, but two,
Yeah.
maybe there's some way that, the agents, we can help hit that KPI if we knew it or understood it. What are some
Yeah.
of the things that you look at?
As a company, yeah, I mean, we look at the NPS reports, that agents fill out for like all different interactions, basically with the XP, and that support, requests, and that's your onboarding experience. That's everything, right? There's all these different NPS surveys that go out, but we look at that stuff uh, in a just below psychotic level. We are looking at
Oh, really?
every single comment that comes in there, right? Because at the end of the day, that another beauty of EXP is that our only customer are you, folks, right? So
Right.
that's the real estate agent. We don't have franchisees to answer to. We don't even look at consumers, right? That's not our customer, right? The buyers and sellers, that's your customer. um, you're our customer, right? So that we're singularly focused on bringing value and making sure we're properly, serving the real estate agent customer. So we look at that NPS data like crazy. We use AI to digest that and find themes and understand where we need to focus efforts, where there's a sudden spike in something that needs to be again focused on and stuff. So that's something that we really, really look at manically, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
What are since
yeah,
since you kind of look at that stuff, what has been I guess one of the biggest opportunities or challenges that you see come across your desk the most when those scores come in, and what has been the greatest
yeah,
collectively, the some of the things that are coming through that people are excited about EXP, or some of the wins with EXP, kind of both
yeah,
angles of it, since you see that stuff all the time. Now I'm just curious.
yeah. Well, it's everything under the sun, to be honest. But like the it's easier for us to only have one customer, right? That makes it better, right? That's easy.
Right.
We can focus on that. The flip side of that is that EXP is a platform, and basically, think of it as like an infrastructure platform. It's a platform, right, to run your business, and it's for every type of real estate agent business, right? So it's for the brand new solo agent all the way through, teams, mega teams,
Right.
independent brokerages that that are rolling in under EXP that are selling hundreds of houses a year, right? Developers. So it's for everybody, right? Leo says it allows you to build whatever size dream you want, right? And
Yeah.
that's so we have to cater to and have something for and be able to really serve every type of real estate agent in every geography um, around the world, right? So it's not
Right.
just the U.S. So that's something that takes real work, right? That's not easy. We're not a bunch of market centers like like our competitors, right? We're centralized operations, as efficient as we can be. So there's plenty of revenue to put into the revenue share, right? The
Right.
more we are, right, the better it all works. That's sort of like the challenge, right? Trying to sort of keep everybody happy. Sometimes you hear a little bit more from one group, and
Right.
we have to innovate there, right? To make sure that we address whatever this like rising concern is, and yeah, it happens. But it's been amazing having Leo and Wendy and sort of like the new group of leaders come in for this sort of like EXP 2.0, as we like to say. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with EXP. It's been great, but having like fresh eyes and fresh energy,
It should be innovating, right?
we're innovating like again, just like we were in the early days, right? So that's been something that we've received a lot of positive feedback on it, and you all see it, like when you have like the spring Banksons coming to EXP and folks like that, like every week we have like another major
Yeah.
team or brokerage coming to EXP.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's totally
that's
true.
that's
I
fresh
was
energy. Yeah, yeah,
exactly. I was asked, you know, why. I mean, just because I guess I have so many friends at different brokerages as well, and they're like, why not leave? Why there? And I was like, I
right,
think I've been at 3 different brokerages in the last year. Just
yeah,
because it's still EXP, but it's like
right.
it's a different new thing coming out that's helped us, and
That's
it
right.
just you could feel that you guys are focusing on that and ensuring that you are ahead of the curve, or I wouldn't have felt like I was at different brokerages, different steps. Every time
That's
there is, and you guys are right, every
yeah,
time there is, at least collectively, that I'll hear a challenge or a frustration, it's not too much longer to us like, hey guys, check this out. Look what we
yeah.
just did. And it's
That's
like,
right.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it gets done. But along that, you know, oh, did you have something you wanted to say to that?
I was gonna say, like, the co-sponsorship was, like, a great example
Right.
of that, you know? Or
Yes.
Glenn invented revenue share, right? Real estate brokerage revenue share, that was his invention, and, of course, we pick up copycats like anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then sometimes you see, like, a new, like, little feature on one of them, and we're like, "That's cool," let's make an EXP version, right,
Yeah.
where we can leverage our scale. Because the one thing that cannot be copied is scale, right? Copy as much as you want of like of the of the features of it or whatever, but you can't copy the scale and the beauty of like being a part. I keep saying the beauty, so there's a lot of beauties about being at EXP, I guess.
Yeah.
My takeaway today. But yet another beauty of being at EXP is what's known as a network effect, right? So you have that by being a part of a bigger network, by being able to attract agents in 27 different countries, right? By being able to co-sponsor with anybody at this company in any country now, right? So like that's an example of like we turn that on and it's the EXP flavor. It's instantly 100 times more powerful because of the
Right.
size of the network, right? Anything like that that leverages the size of our network cannot be copied.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most exciting things about EXP. I love that.
Yeah. It's cool to be on this train. Um,
Yeah.
So as you build, what maybe is a belief that you once had that's recently changed um, as you scale and as you learn more about everything?
Um, That's a great question. So a belief that I had that's changed? Yeah. Hmm. Oh, that's a hard question. Let's see. So I mean, like along every day with AI, there's every day I get like three different newsletters that like recap all the new stuff in AI
Right.
throughout since yesterday. And every day, literally, something that I didn't think that would be possible for another few years is possible today, um, technology wise. So that's
Right.
exciting. In the sort of the EXP sort of world, I think I thought that we were like getting uh probably close to like cruising altitude where we're gonna just like kind of slowly like tick up and and be steady, and we'll like sort of incrementally refine or whatever. I no longer think that. I actually think that we're again back sort of down towards the beginning of things, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, to be honest, until I really started digging into it in the last few months on the international side of things, even more so, about how early it is in the EXP story. We're seeing so much growth now internationally. Every time we open a new country with the new way, this is like EXP. I mean, we think EXP 2.0 in the US, but EXP 2.0 for international is a whole other story. Glenn spent the last year just totally revamping that. Um, and and yeah, like we opened up in Peru. We already have like 250 plus agents there. We opened up in Ecuador, same story, and that's been in like a couple of months. In those brand new markets, we're the number one brokerage now in the UK. So it's
Wow.
like very early in the EXP story, where I think probably a lot of people in the industry started to to think like, yeah, this is about how big you can get, and people thought Glenn was nuts when he said whatever the goal number of agents were. I can't remember what it was, 200 or 500,000 or something. But whatever the number is, it's very possible actually to see
Yeah.
that level of growth with EXP. It's just getting started, honestly, and that's something that I've very firmly believe now.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Well, that's cool to hear. Obviously from the, I guess you could say the C-suite. I mean, because
Yeah,
I mean, I think we all felt that where it felt like, oh, this is cool. We
yeah,
could ride this train
yeah,
for a little bit longer. But
yeah,
I think you're right, and it has been feeling different lately as well. Just these new things that are popping.
yeah,
What do you think is the maybe the number one, or maybe a few, however many you see? What are the biggest challenges that you see that we face as we start as agents? We start to enter into this AI field, this new innovation field, even with EXP. What are some of the biggest challenges that you see that we're going to face besides besides just old fashioned learning what we
yeah,
need to do? What
yeah.
other challenges that you see that we may start kind of working on now to build that muscle before it hits?
Well, we got to get through this market, right? That's the low tech
Yeah.
answer. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah, I don't need to tell you all. This is like it's like the worst or lowest amount of volume in the last 30 years. So we gotta get through this. Some agents in the industry won't, and that's a big opportunity for all of you that do.
Right.
Just like in 2008. Um, and so there's a big opportunity there. The other thing is that there's like very the pace of AI is moving, unsurprisingly, quite a bit faster than the regulatory environment for it, right? Especially in our
Right.
in our old stodgy industry. So it's gonna be a while till like real estate catches up with. It's never gonna catch up, right, with AI, but like even like gets
It's
to
just
the
never going
point.
to.
Right, it never will, right? But I remember, I started a brokerage also in 2008, and it was also virtual, and, I remember the state board. I lived in South Carolina at that time, in Charleston, and they were asking me, like where will your files be kept, right? For you have to keep them for 3 years or 5 years or whatever it was, and I was
Right.
like, Dropbox, that's where they'll be kept. And they're like, no, they need to be on paper in a file cabinet. Where will that be? It needs to be in an office. And it was just like not set up. Like you couldn't have virtual brokerage, even
Right.
though it was fine. There'd be a lot safer in Dropbox than in some file cabinet, right?
I use Dropbox all the time.
Right, exactly. But like regulatory environment hadn't caught up with cloud technology yet at that point. And we got the same thing. We'll have the exact same thing. We do have the same thing, and we will continue to have the same thing for AI. But the other thing is to just start. I cannot encourage you enough to just start trying different tools in AI. Like just start familiarizing yourself with AI, right? Even if you're like, it just does not give me the answers I'm looking for, like it was wrong once or whatever. Just keep going because the new models come out and then that makes those tools you're using all of a sudden 100 times smart, not just like twice as smart, like 100 times smarter. Like when a new frontier model comes out, like
Right.
GPT-5 will come out this summer from OpenAI. So the stuff, and this is something that they told us there too, the stuff that barely works today, put that in place because then when the new model comes out, the new AI model comes out, those things that barely worked, that you had going that like are a little error prone or whatever, and it kind of works, it almost works, will now work really well. And you'll have it implemented already. You'll be familiar with using it already versus
Right.
everyone else that's going to be scrambling, that's going to hear some consultant tell them at Inman Connect or whatever, like, you gotta implement this tool, whatever. You'll already have that. You'll already be using it. You'll already be gaining market share, right? So the way to start that, and that sounds intimidating, the way to just start that is to just start like fiddling and using, just carve out a half hour a day to just do some discovery on what you can do with, even just start with ChatGPT. Just ask ChatGPT what you can do. Ask ChatGPT
Right.
how you tell it what you do. Tell it the stuff that takes you a long time to do, and ask it what it can do to help you, or what some other AI tools can do to help you, and just start getting familiar with how these things work. And then you'll end up putting some stuff into place. I guarantee it within the coming weeks or months, and you'll be ahead of the game by a lot. And a little head start can make a big difference with tools like this.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and I understand how that could be one of the big challenges. Just the regulatory can't even keep up with what might be coming down the street on that
For sure.
stuff. But
Right.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that goes with, for anybody who just wants to evolve personally, you have to go into whatever that thing is that you want to get better at and just try it. And I think this is obviously one of those things. It's exciting to know that you guys are obviously focusing on it at a very high level, to where what we see now, we're like slightly blown away, like,
Yeah.
wow, we could do this and that. And you guys are working on stuff that's going to come down the road. It's just like, I don't know, pick
Yeah.
us up and we'll just float away, just because of how
Yeah.
how big it's going to be for us.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun for me too. It's very exciting, and it can be. I understand. Maybe intimidating or even scary too, right? For those that are just like overwhelmed with it.
Right,
And that's okay. It's even overwhelming for me sometimes, right? Sometimes I'm trying to stay on top and try every single tool. Glenn also, like, it sort of teams with me on that.
right,
Um, and it's not possible to try every tool, but that's okay. If 100 tools come out and you try three, you've tried three new things, and
right.
one of those might make a difference in your business, and that's really sort of where we're at. Um, Everything in all industries is getting shuffled up by AI, and that is a time of opportunity, the likes of which uh, we'll never see in our generation again. Right?
Yeah,
This is the greatest opportunity we'll ever see because of how much the board is being shaken up. Right? So we get to put our piece on a whole different square. If we really play our cards right and want to. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
I
little
know you only
chaos.
have
Chaos is good.
a f-
Yeah.
yeah, I know you only have a few more minutes, so I'll ask you just a few more questions.
Yeah.
What is, and then this might be a little bit more personal, which is, what do you wish you were better at?
I wish I was better at marketing, actually. Yeah, something. Yeah, yeah. That's something I wish I was better at. Like, yeah. I think I see like a lot of yeah, a lot. Anyway, that's just something I've never been great at marketing myself or a product or whatever.
Yeah, I'll
I
say
really
you
really respect marketers.
yeah. Well, I mean, I saw your video on LinkedIn uh about the EXP con over the seas, and
Yeah, yeah.
that was cool. Is I think as long as you just keep telling your story and what you learned or some failure moments,
I just try to
I
yeah,
think
I just try to be authentic. Yeah. Yeah,
you could
that's
tell.
my brand, I guess. But yeah, that the whole video idea was that was I probably credit my wife, who is a marketer.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
What
yeah.
profession other than your own would be fun to attempt?
Hmm. Um, oh, that's a great question. I don't know. Yeah.
I know you've been in this side of the business for a very long time.
Yeah.
So have
I
you
mean,
ever thought of just like, man, I'd really like to try this thing that's completely outside of technology or innovation or real
yeah.
estate?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, like, yeah, the low-hanging ones, I'd love to try being a rock star or something like that, or a pro athlete. That sounds fun. But yeah, that's a good question. I think I know. So I'm really into coffee, and I kind of
Oh,
have always wanted to start a coffee shop and just run a like a yeah really cool coffee shop. I think that would be fun.
what would be the name of it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You got any ideas?
No, I would ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
And then we'll end it on this. Like I said, I know you got a few more minutes. What is one of the worst pieces of advice you ever got?
Man, that's a great question. One of the worst pieces of advice I've ever got. Uh, yeah, probably to stop thinking about AI. Actually, so
Really?
yeah, coworker who no longer is a coworker here.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, really thought it was a fad. Yeah, yeah, and, yeah, I knew it wasn't a fad.
That seems crazy to tell a tech person that. I feel like.
I know. I think that they just thought that it was gonna be like a blockchain or, whatever, like the latest, like, crypto or, whatever. Those things haven't gone away, by the way, but, they weren't like
Right.
yet like earth shattering. AI though is more of an internet moment, like or that's it's more akin to that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
that person didn't agree with that. That was really bad advice. But then I didn't listen to that advice though.
Well, I think everyone would agree with you on that. I appreciate it, man. Again, I apologize for the first 10 minutes of me trying to figure out technology, which
It
is
happens. It happens. You didn't
insane.
let it stop you, and yeah, it's about resilience and adaptability in life, man. That's what it's all about, especially in our business here.
Yeah.
So
I just kept telling Seth, I was like, just give me this one chance. Oh, it didn't
yeah,
work. Let me try this one thing until we finally made it just on my phone.
all good.
Where can people find you?
Well, I'm in Slack, right? You reach out to me absolutely anytime in there. I'll put my email address is if you want to email me there, I'll put it into the chat here.
Okay.
Um,
I'll put it in the description as well. I got your
yeah,
LinkedIn profile as well in there.
even better. Yeah. All right. It says it failed to post. So I will need you to do that. But yeah, we'll just do that. But yeah, Slack me absolutely anytime. Love to help, love to geek out or hear ideas or whatever, it's what I do. This is yeah. So yeah, love to chat whenever.
I love it. I know a lot's going to change in a day, but I couldn't imagine what's going to change in 6 months to 9 months. I'll reach
I
back out
literally
to
don't
you.
even know.
I'll have
Yeah.
all this stuff running correctly, and we'll jump on and we'll talk more about what has changed. But thank you so much for jumping in and doing this, not only for me, but just for all the agents from all other firms who are watching today. I really appreciate you taking your time to do this. It is awesome.
Anytime. Thanks for having me on. I love it.
You got it, man. Thanks,
All
Seth.
right.
See you, brother.
Bye, Ruben. Bye, everybody.
Bye.